We'll call to order the May 20th, 2010 meeting of the Ascension Parish Council. Madam Secretary, I was going to say the roll call. I'm out of line, but that's all right. We'll go with the invocation. Tonight's invocation will be led by Sorrento Mayor Blake LeBlanc and will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by the plant manager John Casey of Westlake Vinyls. Please stand.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of life and for our families. We thank you for the freedoms that we oftentimes take for granted. Heavenly Father, pour forth your Spirit upon our elected officials so that they will be on fire with the sure knowledge of your love, so that they will be able to discern and make sound decisions that govern us and our communities. We thank you for our veterans who we will memorialize later this month. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Casey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Blake and Mr. Casey. Madam Secretary, we'll now have the roll call. Please note that Chairman Bell is out sick and Councilman Johnson is working. All others present. Tonight we have no chair additions. Public comment period. Anyone wishing to speak, please sign in with the Secretary and you'll be given 3 minutes on that topic. We'll move right into the presentations. Mr. President, first presentation we have St. Teresa of Avila School honorees. Teacher of the Year, Rebecca Kelly.
Kelly, she's not here tonight, so you're going to be speaking on her behalf.
Words of wisdom.
Who
I
do
know
we
Becky
have?
was honored to receive the Paraprofessional of the Year. Yes, sir, at St. Teresa. She works in the library as the assistant, and we were very blessed. We had a library assistant that had to take chose to take a teaching position that became available. So Becky stepped up to the plate and offered to be the library assistant, and she has done an outstanding job. We're very pleased to have her as part of our faculty and staff this year. So I know she thanks you for the acknowledgement and receiving this honor.
And also, the Teacher of the Year was Elaine Osterhout, and she will not attend. And the Principal of the Year was Miss Chris Musso, and she was principal from the entire diocese. So that tell Chris we said congratulations, and we have some certificates for him. So thank you so much, and thank you. Here we have St. John primary honorees, Paraprofessional of the Year, Miss Yvette K. Says, Parish of Ascension is proud to present the Certificate of Excellence to Yvette K. of St. John Primary School upon the occasion of your being named their Paraprofessional of the Year. We join with the entire Parish Council in offering our congratulations and appreciations for what you do to help educate the children of our parish. Teacher of the Year, Sean Smith, first grade. First, you got a promotion in second. Certificate of Excellence. This certificate is hereby awarded to Sean Smith, the Parish of Ascension is proud to present the Certificate of Excellence to Sean Smith of St. John Primary School upon the occasion of your being named Teacher of the Year at your school. We join with Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in offering our congratulations and appreciation for what you do to educate the children of our parish. Congratulations. Thank you. Basketball honorees, we have Kenesha Cobbins of Dutchtown High School, Class 5A, second team All-State. Also made All-State as a freshman, two-time District 6-5A Most Valuable Player, and the 6-5A Defensive Player of the Year. She's being recruited by several schools, including Tulane and Virginia Tech. Our coach is here, Annette Lowry. Annette, you want to come on? And also from Santa Monica, we had Steve Fulkerson of Santa Monica with the Class 5A All-State Honorable Mention selection, and he could not be with us tonight, but we want to mention him. So, we certainly want to congratulate you and congratulate you, Coach. Certificate of Excellence. This certificate is hereby awarded to Kenesha Cobbins. Am I saying that right? Okay. Parish of Ascension is proud to present the Certificate of Excellence to Kenesha Cobbins of Dutchtown High School upon the occasion of your being named to the Class 5A All-State Girls Basketball Team. We join with Councilman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in offering our congratulations, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Can you give us a little insight of where you're heading?
Don't tell them.
Well, I'm still undecided about where I want to go yet, but I know I'm going to pick a good school that's going to provide a good education and a good basketball team.
Hey, great.
Okay, next, we had the honor of going to Lake Primary School recently and discussing litter and recycling, and had a very attentive class that really came up with some great ideas and helping us clean up this parish. And we enjoyed our visit. Scott came with me, Terrence Irvin, and Chairman Bell, and spent a lot of time there, and they showed us a lot of things, and we certainly were proud of that. And I just want to recognize Mr. Tompling, who gave us a nice piece of artwork here in Jalen. You presented this to me, so we want people to see what you did. Turn around and show the council.
That's great.
Okay, and Miss Rhonda was the teacher, and we wanted to do a certificate for the entire 5th grade, but maybe if you want to share a little bit about recycling and maybe some of your questions and some answers, do you want to do that? No, not a problem.
What you say?
Well, I just want to say on behalf of myself and the council, we appreciate this, and it was Todd's daughter teaches there, Jason. She came in, and I didn't get to say hello, so I want to publicly apologize to her. So, anyway, Thank you. Jalen. Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is hereby awarded to Lake Elementary 5th grade. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of appreciation to the 5th graders of Lake Elementary School for their dedication to and concern for our environment. We join with Council Chairman Pat Bell and entire Parish Council in wishing all of you the best of luck in your lives and in making Ascension Parish a greener place to live in the future. Galen, we appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll move right into the President's report.
I'm going to call Reverend Gary Willis up, please. Gary's going to be leaving us and I think heading to, I hope not greener pastures, but going up to Slidell. And, we've had occasion bumping each other on certain things, and he's been a pillar of our community and just done an outstanding job in working with the parishioners and people of Ascension Parish. And I just want to say thank you, and we're going to miss you, and hopefully you do as well in Slidell, but if they don't want you, we'll take you back quick. Yeah, this is a proclamation to make the Reverend Gary Willis an honorary parish president of Ascension Parish. Whereas the Reverend Gary Willis has served as the pastor of the First United Methodist Church of Gonzales for the last 10 years, and whereas he and his family will be leaving our community in June for a new assignment at Aldous Gate United Methodist Church in Slidell, and whereas among his works during his tenure, he spearheaded the development and construction of First United Methodist New Celebration Center and its administration building and nursery. Whereas he led First United Methodist Church in its first far-reaching missionary campaigns, which have touched the lives of both people here in Ascension and throughout the world. Now, therefore, it be proclaimed, I, Tommy Martinez, President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by the virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereunto proclaim the Reverend Gary Willis as honorary parish president in Ascension Parish, and urge all our citizens to join us in recognizing his contributions to our community by according him all the respect and honors due an honorary holder of this high office. We also want to present him with the key to the parish. So you have to come back now. So.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, I just thank you very much for this this honor, and it has been a pleasure to serve both my church and the community these last 10 years. Went through Katrina and everything else with you, and we've shared in the ministry with a lot of you, and so many of my church as well. It has been a pleasure, and we will miss this place. It's been a pleasure to serve in Gonzales.
Next, we'd like to have the presentation for Alzheimer's Day in Ascension Parish. We're represented here tonight by a very special family, the Bourgeois family that is spread far and wide. And
I'm going to yield that to Mr. Ken Checkstein.
that's right.
myself. My mom had it, Alzheimer's.
Okay. Okay, we want to take this time to offer these people representing many of the bourgeois family, but for all of Ascension Parish, and to proclaim June 6, Alzheimer's Awareness Day in Ascension Parish. Whereas Alzheimer's disease is a serious and progressively fatal brain disease, ranking as the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, with a new diagnosis being made every 70 seconds. And whereas Alzheimer's disease currently affects more than 5.3 million Americans, among them nearly 1,000 people living in Ascension Parish, including my mom and many aunts and uncles, probably the most precious people I know. A fundraiser entitled A Time to Remember is being held from 2 to 5 p.m. on Sunday, June 6, at Holiday Inn in Gonzales, in conjunction with the Center Stage Performing Arts Academy. And whereas all proceeds from the event will go to benefit the Alzheimer's Services of the Capital Area Organization, now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Tommy Martinez, President of Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereunto proclaim June 6, 2010, as Alzheimer's Awareness Day in Ascension Parish, and urge all my fellow citizens to observe this date and support this event. And I have somebody wants to speak up here.
No, I really don't want to talk, but I'm going to. This is too important for us to overlook. First of all, we really do want to thank the council for recognizing the importance of what's happening, not just in Ascension Parish and Louisiana, but throughout the country. As our baby boomers are approaching age 65, America is getting ready to see an unbelievable occurrence of Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. This is our small part to honor some very special people. And we just want to invite you to come join us on Sunday afternoon, June 6th. If you need more information, my phone number is in the book. Thank you all again, and just keep everybody that deals with the disease in your prayers, because they seriously need all of God's help. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Randy, I have a couple of announcements.
Please.
On Saturday, May 22nd, at Santa Monica Recreation Center, we're going to be having a Veterans Support Fair, and it's going to be hosted by the parish government and American Red Cross at the Santa Monica Recreation Center. So we will encourage all our veterans here in Ascension Parish and the surrounding area to please attend, and it will benefit them. They will give them different directions to go in if they're looking for some sort of help, and it's a good program. So, and the other thing is there's a SBA loan program because of the Deepwater British Petroleum oil spill. The federal government Small Business Administration is offering economic injury disaster loans. These loans are available to businesses in 34 parishes, including Ascension Parish. For more information, we have contact numbers at the office if anybody needs the numbers. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. We'll move right on to Agenda item number 7, the consent agenda. Chair would recognize a motion at this time. We have a motion by Mr. Cullen, second by Mr. Lambert, Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. Move right on to agenda item number 8, zoning review ID 2075.10. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Zoning review ID 2075.10, Lot E1, Lot F, 1FA, and 1DB of the unnamed lot described by a sale of assumption of mortgage filed under instrument number 516159 for William Visale. To accept and deny, the recommendation from the zoning commission was to accept the zoning request to rezone the property from RM to Crossroad Commercial.
We have a motion to accept from Mr. Thompson. We have a second.
Second.
Second from Mr. Valentine. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Go to agenda item number 9. Ratification of the agreement between the Parish of Ascension, Jones Walker, to hire special counsel for Ascension Parish wastewater services. Mr. President.
Yes, this is an agreement that we entered upon with Jones Walker. It's less than $50,000, but we wanted to bring it to your attention. Basically, it's going to be for writing the proposal, putting together a proposal in conjunction with the DEQ loan for public-private partnership. Mr. Fred Chevalier was actually one of the people that drafted the statute, so that's why we wanted to engage his services. So this is where we're at. Lindsay, if you want to add anything to that, certainly will be. Anything?
Motion.
We have a motion by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Lohr. Any discussion? Yes, Mr. Todd Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, Parish President, when you say private, public, what are we speaking of on that?
We're trying to
private,
get.
what are we talking about on the private?
Basically, in the sewer with the Corps.
Okay.
We have an agreement with the Corps that they will build a plant on BSF property and do the outfall into the river, and also do a line going toward the Darrah, Harryville, Pelican Point area. The private part of the agreement would be you have to have feedstock for the actual plant. And basically what would happen, a private firm would actually take over where the parish is not going to be running lines, and you will have that person probably bring together all the private systems up in the northern part of the parish, and they're going to do a trunk line, send that to the main plant, and the main plant would actually treat the sewer and put it into the river. So it's a very delicate type situation and agreement, and you've got to make sure that you have somebody who knows what they're doing when they're drafting that resolution. What you do, you go out send out a letter and invite people to come and bid on it, and then they will in turn send you a check for $50,000 or whatever we determine, and that will take care of some of the costs, including this attorney's fees, in putting together the proposal and evaluating the proposal. And then whichever firm wins, you keep their check and others get theirs back. So again, before we can move on with the DEQ loan, because if we actually just did the plant with the customers that we have and the 5 sewer plants that we have, we probably wouldn't be able to feed the plant enough. So basically, this is part of deciding whether we're going to sign this loan or not sign this loan at some point. So it's a process that we have to go through. We got to be able to have enough customers to do that, and we have some interested people that I'm thinking we should have 3 or 4 prospects that will actually send RFQs or RFPs on this. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, that's pretty much. But I guess we're looking at a loan that has to be repaid back once we do it. And
That's exactly right, and you got to have enough
I guess he's looking at numbers and making sure that we have funding available to pay this loan back
Yes,
before we enter into an agreement with it.
And that will be part of the agreement, and the private company would do the operation and maintenance.
Is it going to include any tax or supplement to fund
No,
this?
it does not.
It's just going to be
in
user
there, they're
fees?
going to have to. What we were charged with, and was $45 or below as a fee.
Well, that's what the Corps shot a number at,
Yeah.
but that was broad. That was a broad number because they didn't do too much detail as far as what it's going to take to buy all the existing package units out.
In their proposals, they're going to have to come back with a fee scale, and they're going to have to make sure that the loan can be paid back, plus whatever investment they have. So they're going to have to set, and that's going to be part of it.
That's part of the private.
Yeah, basically they know that if they come back with something above $45, then it's not going to work with us.
Yeah.
So we are not going to be bound on anything probably until after the first of the year when we have to sign the agreement with DQ for the loan. So this is all doing due diligence at this point to try and come up and make sure we have a plan that works, make sure that we have a financial plan that works, and make sure that the citizens will have a reasonable fee.
That's the first I heard about a private venture, so that's why I had questions on it. So,
well, I guess we've talked about it at the utility meetings, and but it's a way, it's a possibility. But again, we do the due diligence. If we're not satisfied with what we get, that's okay.
Yeah.
If we're going to get in the sewer business, we want to do it right, and we want to be able to pay for it. We don't want, and then without trying not to put any taxes or whatever on the people, just strictly user fees.
yeah. I know the 45 was a lot of questions asked when the Corps brought it to it because it was, it wasn't really a detail. It was a plan, but they didn't have any numbers. They didn't have any numbers on what it was going to take to buy out all these package plants, and especially the northern end of the parishes. They're not going to give them away.
Well, the parish is not going to be buying them. That'll be up to the private corporation to buy those.
But in order to buy them and be able to afford $45 a month was a big question when the Corps presented this plan to us.
And that's the beauty of this thing. They're going to have to come up with a financial plan that makes this work.
Appreciate it. That's all my questions.
And if you got any other questions, be glad to go over it. And,
Thank you.
But the court, this is separate than the Corps.
Yeah.
And the gentleman that actually owns the majority, probably, of the private plants, he's going to have to make some adjustments too, according to DQ, at some point. So his rates are going to have to go up to basically somewhere in that range too. So, okay. But I'll be glad to answer. Sit down, have Fred come by and discuss it with anybody. I'll bring him to a meeting, and if you have further questions.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Any further discussion?
The only thing I want to say is basically we really didn't even approve the core plan. What we're doing is just doing the basic sewer plan, right, Parish President? Giving us some options to do something else.
This is another option, yes. And if time...
Well, I just want the general public to understand.
Yeah.
We had a lot of discussion about the core plan and where we were headed and what we were doing, but this is... Technically, we haven't really accepted the core plan as a council to start off with. So basically, we're doing the basic system on the 30 acres, right?
40
acres of BS property, and the initial.
And as
from there, we have some options that's essentially what this encompasses.
Yes, sir. We want to make sure that we have a lot on the table and a way to pay for this. And we don't, I've heard a couple plants where they build a plant and they don't have any supply and the plant just sits there. We don't want to be in that situation.
Well, we don't want to get...
No, I don't want to borrow, and I don't think you do.
Yeah.
And the president of this parish don't want to borrow $18 million and not have a way to pay for it and have a plant sitting there with nothing going in it. Yes, sir.
We also have some decision makers because we don't want to get out there and have something where we spend some money and then we have to do something to make sure that it runs properly too.
That's why we're doing this due diligence now. I'd rather pay now than later.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir, Mr. Lohr.
I just want to say I appreciate the Parish President and the Chairman of the Utilities Committee bringing this plan up here. I've long had a number of reservations about the core plan, and I think this strategy of taking over, some of the private, or working on a private-public partnership up there will help in terms of volume, as you said. Sewer is really a ticking time bomb. I think we've made some progress here, but keeping this train going and seeing how these numbers come back, I'll be very interested. Thanks.
Any other discussion? Any opposition? Motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item number 10, adjudicated property. Mr. Laverne Bourgeois, the first being 3026 Mount Olive Church Road.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Council and President Martinez. Tonight we're here to actually guidance for the condemnation, not adjudicated. That's apparently a typographical error. And we're here to ask your guidance in this. I'll give you the events of the schedule that we went through on Mount Olive, 3226. On July 7, 2009, the letter was sent to the property owners of 3026 Mount Olive Road to clean up the property. July 14, 2009, received notification from property owner requesting more time needed to clean the property. August 2009 to October 2009, there was a request for additional time that was received due to the fact that the property owner was in a nursing home. November of 2009, mobile home was demolished, but debris remained on the properties. December 3rd, 2009, a second letter was sent to the property owner requesting that they attend the Parish Council meeting. A delivery confirmation receipt was never received prior to the meeting. As a result, this item was removed from the Parish Council agenda. Although the property owner did receive a notice and did attend the meeting, no action was taken at the council meeting. December 9, 2009, the property owner was called, and they were informed that this department never received the return receipt. As a result of this, the item was removed from the agenda. The property owner was also asked to remove the remains of debris. February 10 to March 10, 2010, spoke to the property owner requesting removal of additional debris from the properties. May 20th today, the property owner was notified to attend the Ascension Parish Council meeting for any information to share to the effect. So we're here tonight. You've seen the scheduled event, the long list of time. The mobile home was actually taken down. There's a large amount of debris left on the properties, and we're asking guidance tonight to go further with the condemnation.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion by Mr. Todd Lambert. Second by Mr. Dennis Cullen. Discussion. Mr. Oliver.
Yeah, I would like to, this is in my district, and in the past I have been working on this project with administration, and I'm very aware of this situation. And in the past, we had normally give up to 90, 60, or 30 days, and I'm going to make a second amendment to the motion that we give the owner additional 30 days, and after that 30 days, what we have done in the past, to go with the condemnation. That's mine.
I'll second
We
that.
have a motion for an amended motion to give the owner 30 days from Mr. Joseph.
I'll second.
We have a second by Mr. Thompson. Any discussion?
One quick question for
Yes.
Mr. Laverne. Mr. Laverne, we've been going on almost a year with this project, right?
Yes, sir.
According to the dates I see?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering whether 30 days, 60 days is going to help you any, because you've done all the notification to the people. And
Well, the procedure will be that we give notice to the person of the action of the council tonight,
Okay.
and then we do have 30 days for them to go ahead and take care of this problem.
Okay.
If after that 30-day period nothing happens, then we will.
That's the normal procedure.
Yes,
correct.
that's normal proceeding. If you want to give an additional 30 days beside the proceeding, then please give that clarification to me.
Mr. Joseph, I think he clarified that the property owner has 30 days from right now. And would you like to
I withdraw mine.
amend the motion? Madam Secretary, please note that Mr. Joseph withdrew his amended motion. We're back to the original motion. Any more discussion? Any opposition? Motion passed.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We'll move on to item B, 39216 Germany Road.
The scope of events of this condemnation would be that from January 16, 2008 to May the 20th of this year, they as follows. January 16th, sent a letter, first letter to inform the owner to clean up the properties. April 17, 2008, Mrs. Payton came before the council. The council gave her time to clean up the property. June 16, 2008, the grass was cut on the property, garbage was picked up, and the building had been boarded up. July 23, 2009, sent a letter again to Mrs. Payton that the property needed to be cleaned once again. Received no response. August 2009, called and spoke to Ms. Hamilton, Mr. Hamilton. He informed us that Mrs. Payton had passed away and the property was in the attorney's office. December 2009, called Mr. Hamilton. He informed me that the attorney was still working on the estate. April 7, 2010, sent first letter of that year to clean up the property once again to tear down the structure. April 19, 2010, sent out the second letter informing the customer to attend the council meeting on May 20th, 2010. On May the 6th, we talked with attorney Ben Valentine, which informed us that he had paid the taxes on this property. He said he was interested in talking to the council on May the 20th. We also gave notice for the May 20th meeting for the homeowner to appear before the council for any information to share. And if it's at the council's wishes, if anyone's here in attendance tonight for the property, could you allow them that?
Anybody here in attendance? Mr. Valentine?
Mr. President, Council, Chairman, actually, I didn't buy the property a couple of years ago. It was my middle son, Jacob, and at a tax sale. And we apologize to the council and to the citizens, the residents of the parish, for the condition of that building. We were contacted by Richard Throckmorton within the last month, and because he ran the title on it and realized that Jacob had been the tax purchaser. Some of you may know that Jacob's been out of the country for about 6 months. He was working in Cambodia and Phnom Penh doing volunteer work, and he's in Israel now working with youth, teaching soccer and basketball, teaching English, and working with Holocaust survivors. He should be back in June. But in the meantime, we've contacted 3 contractors to have the property cleaned up, and if the council would see fit to give us some forbearance within a month, I think you'll see a vast improvement over there.
Mr. Bourgeois, you concur with that?
If it's the wishes of the council, we can work within that parameter to once again clean up the properties and make it more presentable to the community.
I'd offer a motion to have Laverne resurvey the property within 30 days and see the progress and then report to us at the next council meeting.
We have a motion by Mr. Shake Snyder, second by Mr. Todd Lambert. Any discussion?
Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Dempsey Lambert.
Cleanup. Are you going to tear down the buildings, or are you just going to clean up around them?
At first, just clean up around there. I mean, there's a big difference in cost between the two, but I think we can make it vastly improved. And we're going to secure the building. There's some problems with people living there, from what we understand. There are trespassers and drug problems and that sort of thing. Our intention was to put some posted signs and maybe go to the sheriff's office, notify them that if anybody's on the property, unless they're related to family or in the cleanup, arrest them for trespass and keep them out of there.
Okay. What I'd like to see, Laverne, have you been in looked at these structures?
Yes, we've been to that site several times, and at this time it is boarded up, but apparently there may be some vagrants going on in there from time to time, and we've had a few calls from the citizens of the area, with that interest to vacate those people.
Yeah, I think it's structurally, it's I don't also want to get hurt, but we need to make a decision on either tearing it down, or if you're going to do some improvements, let us know what you're going to do.
There's only one unit that's open, and we intend to completely board it up and get a big dumpster over there and haul everything off.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Lohr.
Mr. Valentine, so when your son comes back, is he going to reside in the house?
Well, actually, it's not a house. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's down Germany Road. It's across, I have clients that own property across the street. It's in pretty deplorable condition. It's some kind of an apartment complex, but I don't think he intends to reside there. No. Thank you.
May I add, and when we're talking about this, I think it should be improvements made that if you were living next to it, you would be satisfied.
I understand.
That's
I
what we're
actually
looking
spoke
for.
to the neighbor on both sides recently, and I called Benny Johnson, I think in whose district that is. Sorry he wasn't able to be here tonight, and I also called Chairman Pat Bell Friday night just after I'd been contacted by Mr. Throckmorton.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Todd Lambert.
And Laverne, most of the complaints we're getting is not really so much the ground area as the building itself. We're getting people getting inside the building by just boarding it up. What's going to keep them from breaking in? And, a boarded up house looks vacant, so you're going to have some kids and stuff try to see what they can do and break in and get in it. So I guess my biggest concern is how quick are you going to remodel this facility, or how quick is that going to take place? Because it's still going to be a sore, site, boarded up just by cleaning the property up.
Councilman Lambert, it was in such bad condition we went over today. First thing we thought we'd do is just, clean it up, get rid of the grass, and get where we can get in there. And like you said, if it's structurally not sound, then we need to do something in that regard. But we'll secure it where no one can get in, and I think with the assistance of the Sheriff's Department, we can keep people out of there.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Lohr.
Laverne,
Yes.
who makes the determination on if it's structurally sound?
Myself, the building department does with my help of physically looking at it and making a judgment on the structural sound. This is a block building, which is the building itself. It's only the roof area in the condition that it's been left in over the period of time. If you leave a building unattended, it will deteriorate on its own. And that's the problem we have here. And the other issue is the vagrants of those folks coming in there at will, and the neighbors, understanding that, illegal activities can occur there. That seemed to be the most important thing. Perhaps, as Mr. Valentine mentioned about putting up these no trespassing signs, may prevent and asking the patrolmen of the Sheriff's Department to, check on it periodically. Maybe that could help. But again, it's the wish of the council that we're here tonight to get a direction from.
Any other discussion? Yes, Mr. O.J.
You will be coming back to this council in 30 days to give us a report, correct? What the result of?
We can.
I thought that was a motion.
We can certainly do that. You said you wanted to have a survey of the property in 30 days and come back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly.
So I think we can make that decision based on that with some pictures and your report, the physical report of what the status is.
Understand, this building is an apartment complex that's been no longer there, so it's something that has to be considered too for whatever we're going to do with this building as left standing.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion? We have a motion on the floor. Yes, Mr. President.
Laverne.
Yes.
If it's cleaned up, as far as the ordinance goes, where will we stand then? As far as what does the law say? If Mr. Valentine goes there, cleans up the building, boards it up, structurally, what does it say? Don't we have a percentage that if a building is X percent, then it has to come down?
Yes, actually, Mr. President, in the package we do have a list of the percentage of the building's properties, and most of it meets the criteria of over 51%. And in many jurisdictions, 51% means you got to take charge and either remove it or bring it up to a standard that can be left. So I'm not understanding totally what Mr. Valentine wants to do with it. He wants to clean it up. That's why we entice you to listen to what he wants to do tonight. And hopefully this has been going on for the past several years. So certainly whatever direction you guys want us to go with, that's what we'll do.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion on the floor. Yes, Mr. Todd Lambert.
Looking at your list, Mr. Laverne, it's more than just clean up. You've got deterioration of rafters, ceiling joists, outside walls, inside walls, over 51% of the problem. And, in order to fix that, you got to remodel just tear the whole structure down and start back with the roof and interior walls, from what I can see here. Is that correct?
What I can say about this, the only thing that would, to me, that I could see as the building official that is a substantial structure would be the walls, which are made out of concrete blocks. The roofing and the exterior windows, doors, that's all deteriorated to the point way past 51%. It's been boarded up once.
That's my concern. It's been boarded up once, but they're able to get in.
And
they
then
can
fell
break
back
in.
to this. Hopefully, I don't know. I sure hate to have to come back and ask you guys to give me some more direction the next time when it's not to a appreciable condition as per our ordinance.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lohr.
So the best we can do is clean it up, board it up, and that's that. Is there anything else we could do as far as what's on the list about enforcing all the deficiencies?
Mr. Lurie, you can direct us to take the building down. I just want to know the associated cost of that building. I haven't had any estimates, but I would say between $15,000 and $20,000 to take it out.
Well, I still have the floor, Mr. Valentine. You've had the property for how long?
Well, we acquired it under a tax title, so we have not filed the suit to quiet title. So it's kind of like in limbo right now. It's in between. We were willing to go in and clean it up and do whatever's necessary to get it up to a certain stage. Once we file the suit to quiet title, well, then you're entitled to full ownership at that point. So.
So you say do whatever's necessary. Does that mean everything that's on that list as far as making the building structurally sound?
Yes, right. We would do that. And I don't think we can complete that in 30 days. We can get the grounds cleaned up in 30 days, but as far as getting in there and get that part done, I think we could. I have clients that own the property across the road. If you look at that, you can see how that's kept. And this is not the nature that we would keep up a piece of property. That's all I can say to the council.
Any other discussion? Yes, Mr. Todd.
One big question. The grounds is nothing to do with why we're here tonight. It's the building itself. It's not the grounds. So that's the question. It's nothing to do with the grounds. It's the building. Everything's about the building. So,
Mr. Chairman.
You finished?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm just.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Todd. Yes, Mr. Dempsey Lambert.
I'll support the 30-day extension, and let's get Councilman Johnson. I've worked with him on this a couple of weeks. Let him get back in and I mean, it's his district, and let's see what we can do.
Any further discussion? I think we have a motion on the floor right now to go ahead and give the prescribed owner 30 more days, and Mr. Bourgeois, you will be looking into that and ready to present back in 30 days. What's the progress of this?
Yes, sir. And I'll give you a report on that, and perhaps you can give me the follow-up direction to go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
We
you.
have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bourgeois. Mr. Valentine. We'll move on to agenda item number 10-1, resolution canvassing returns and declaring the results of the special election held in Ascension Parish on May 1, 2010 regarding the amendments to the charter of Ascension Parish. We have one speaker, Mr. Catherine Goppler.
Good evening. This is the second time during your 4-year term the council placed an item on the ballot. Only Councilman Valentine and Councilman Todd Lambert did not support placing on the ballot the 8 propositions with 28 changes to the charter, our Ascension Parish Constitution. The first proposition, which included a raise for the parish president, lost with the greatest margin, 3-1. All other propositions failed with a 58 to 67% no vote. The Gonzales Weekly Citizen headlines read, "Charter, Total Defeat." With 66,000 registered voters, the 4.5% turnout, under 3,000 voters, was disappointing, but expected for a special election. The people were not voting against the Charter Commission. I'm not convinced they were even voting against the amendments. Most people were reacting to the fact that they did not know about the election. There is a great distrust of politicians in the games you play. A careful review of the ballot would show that there was a lot of politics involved. Not reading an ordinance completely before passing it, giving fiscal control over special boards, commissions, agencies, and districts now in the council's hands to the parish president in Proposition 3, and handing it over to the chief financial officer in 4. Allowing the council to postpone up to 1 year redrawing council district lines after a census. This was not housekeeping, as some proponents claimed. This election by design was not well publicized. Your paper of record has a circulation of about 5,000. The ballot was approved last fall, almost 6 months ago. Even at your council meeting just prior to the election, only Councilman Joseph mentioned the millage for the west side. Not one of those who voted to place these changes on the ballot mentioned the charter changes. Was the strategy out of sight? Out of mind? Effective? Absolutely not. How much money did you spend? Finance Department records show over $16,000 alone for publications. This came out of the council's budget for public notices, not from the $75,000 budgeted this year for elections. The clerk of court estimates $50,000 for the cost of this election. There are 3 more scheduled this year. Reviewing the charter was a campaign promise made by President Martinez. Promises made, promises kept. I would add, money spent without little to show for it. There is one item I think the voters would have supported had you placed it on the ballot: term limits. We'll wait until next year for that. Thank you.
All right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I need to go ahead and read the results of each article. And start out with Article 3 of the Home Rule Charter. With respect to the process verbal regarding the amendment of Article 3 relating to the salary of the parish president, the powers and duties of the parish president, a vacancy in the office of parish president, and the parish president's temporary absence of the Home Rule Charter, you should announce that I announced that the Parish Council of Ascension, Louisiana, as governing authority of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which were as follows. Amendment of Article 3 of the Home Rule Charter. Votes for, 728. Votes against, 2,229. A majority of 1,501 votes were against, and the proposition was duly defeated. Move on to the next. With respect to the process verbal regarding the amendment of Article 4 relating to the qualifications of the members of the Ascension Parish Council, modification of district boundaries, requirements of special meetings of the Ascension Parish Council, and appointment of the Secretary of Ascension Parish Council, and the employment of persons by Ascension Parish Council, 4A of Home Rule Charter. You should announce that the Parish Council of the Parish of Ascension, Louisiana, as governing authority of Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which are as follows. Amendment to Article 4A of the Home Rule Charter: for 1,114, against 1,806. A majority of 692 votes were against the proposition, and the proposition was duly defeated. Next, with respect to the process verbal regarding the amendment of Article 4 relating to the membership of the advisory and commissions, ability of the Ascension Parish Council to enter into intergovernmental agreements and governmental entities, budgetary, fiscal, and other controls over the special boards, commissions, agencies, districts, or any device having governmental functions, providing for bonds of Treasurer, Chief Financial Officer, providing for vacancies of the Ascension Parish Council, and providing for vacancies in other local office within the Parish of Ascension. 4B, for the Home Rule Charter, you should announce that Parish Council of Ascension Parish, Louisiana, as the governing authority of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which were as follows. Amendment of Article 4B of the Home Rule Charter. For 990, against 1,918. A majority of 928 votes were against the proposition, and the proposition was duly defeated. Next, with respect to the verbal process regarding the amendment of Article 5 relating to the references of the Parish Secretary and the Treasurer, Chief Financial Officer, duties of the Treasurer, Chief Financial Officer, and qualifications of the Parish Attorney of the Home Rule Charter, you should announce that the Parish of Ascension, Louisiana, as governing authority of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which were as follows. Amendment of Article 5 of the Home Rule Charter. For 1,023, against 1,851. A majority of 828 votes were against the proposition, and the proposition was duly defeated. The next we have, with respect to the process verbal regarding the amendment of Article 6 relating to the adoption of ordinances, the purposes of which resolutions may be adopted, reading a summary of ordinances into the records of Ascension Parish Council, and adoption of emergency ordinances of the Home Rule Charter. I announce that the Parish of Ascension Parish, Louisiana, as the governing authority of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which were as follows. Amendment of the Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter. For 960 votes, against 1,950. A majority of 990 votes were against the proposition, and the proposition was duly defeated. And the next one was with respect to the process verbal regarding the amendment of Article 7 relating to the bonding requirements of the members of the Ascension Parish Council or employees of the Parish of Ascension designated by the Ascension Parish Council of the Home Rule Charter. I announce that the Parish Council of Ascension Parish, Louisiana, and as the governing authority of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which were as follows. Amendment to Article 7 of the Home Rule Charter. Votes were for 1,126, against 1,751. A majority of 625 votes were against the proposition, and the proposition was duly defeated. Next item, with respect to the process verbal regarding the amendment of Article 8 relating to the reference of the Parish Secretary and Official Journal of the Parish of Ascension of the Home Rule Charter. I announce the Parish Council of Ascension Parish, Louisiana, as governing authority of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which were as follows. Amendment to the Article 8 of the Home Rule Charter. Votes were for 1,115, against 1,745. A majority of 630 votes were against the proposition, and the proposition was duly defeated. And the last being with respect to the process verbal regarding the amendment of Article 9 relating to the mandatory review of Ascension Parish Home Rule Charter every 10 years of the Home Rule Charter. I announce that the Parish Council of Ascension Parish, Louisiana, as governing authority of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, has received the official results of the May 1, 2010 election, which were as follows. Amendment to Article 9 of the Home Rule Charter. Votes were for 1,226, against 1,675. A majority of 449 votes were against the proposition, and the proposition was duly defeated. Madam Legal, I believe I've satisfied the function there. I don't think we need no votes, no recommendations on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. To accept it? The chair would
Motion.
take a motion to accept. A motion by Mr. Shake Snyder, second by Mr. Todd Lambert, to accept the results of the election. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to introduction of ordinances. Item number 11, introduction of an ordinance to amend the ordinance adopted by December 17, 2009 by the governing authority in and for Ascension Parish providing certain administrative functions relative to the continued operation and maintenance at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center, subject to certain restrictions. We have a motion by Mr. Shakespeare, a second by Mr. Thompson. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion carries. The chair would recognize a motion to move to executive session. We have two items. Item A, R.J. Daigle versus Ascension Parish, docket 90, 334, Division A, 23rd Judicial District. Item B, update on litigation and request for authorization to contract with expert for core sampling and testing. We have a motion by Mr. Valentine, second by Mr. Todd Lambert. Madam Secretary, can we have a roll call vote?
Councilman Cullen.
Yes.
Councilman Joseph.
Yes.
Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilman Shakespeare. Councilman Thompson.
Yes.
Councilman Valentine.
Yes.
We're in executive session. Everybody's sitting down. Everybody's sitting down. We have a motion to reconvene by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Lohr. Any discussion? Any opposition? Back in. Right now, the chair would entertain a motion on the item number 12.
Move to authorize parish legal and the parish president to move forward on the recommendation for testing in the case.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes. Before we move on to an adjournment, I just want to pass along some notes from Chairman Bell. He's always got a bunch of notes written on here. So, happy birthday to Mr. Shake Snyder. And we want to thank everybody. We want to thank the deputy here that came in to watch over us. Thank Lester and all the group back there and all the secretary and the staff and administration. Thank you guys very much. Too many to name. We'll move on to Mr. Todd Lambert. We have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Todd Lambert. Second by Mr. Oliver Joseph. Any discussion? Any opposition? Motion passes.